for me, and frankly, I have been pilloried in the press long enough. Yes, it's true, I have made my own bed. And now, as a true Kennedy, I must find somebody to lie in it with me.
The preceding was a paid political announcement from the Harvard University Save a Kennedy's Ass One More Time Foundation. Christopher Dodd, Treasurer.
Imus in the morning.
What reason could she have for reporting last week in her little nya column that she not only spied but spoke with Paul Imus at the Planet Hollywood opening? First of all, the sicko sibling resides in El Paso, Texas. And second of all, his name is Fred. It's bad enough Cindy is wildly hallucinating, but if you're gonna see your imaginary friends in public, at least get their names right. One wonders how Madam Adams was able to attend the no-press opening of the new chic beanery in the first place, although my sources tell me she got through the door by telling security she was George Burns' mother, which obviously worked pretty well, despite the fact that one of the doormen quipped, quote, "You're a little old for that, aren't you, Grandma?" Once inside, Cindy's delusional behavior shifted into overdrive, not only thinking she saw the aforementioned Imus brother, but imagining FDR, Elvis, and the Easter Bunny were also in attendance. In a brief moment of lucidity, Sin cornered former Beatle Paul McCartney in town to promote his Liverpool oratorio. Unfortunately for Paul, not only was he referred to as Pete for the entire interview, but despite his protest to the contrary, Cindy insisted he was here to hold the long-awaited Beatles reunion with those other three fab mop-tops, Jack, Jerry, and Mandingo. Finally, after an embarrassing episode which involved Cindy trying to get a quote from the mannequin dressed as the Terminator, Steve Stallone, Arthur Schwarzenegger, and Brian Willis got together and sent her ass over tea kettle out onto 57th Street. I wouldn't be surprised if, after this little hullabaloo, Dam Adams was not allowed anywhere in public without the benefit of medication. Think she's in danger of losing her table at Laura Bell? She's lucky if she gets a window seat at Taco Bell. And if she does, it's only because her new bosom amigo, Manuel Noriega, put in a good word for her. Everyone over at Black Rock is simply aghast over the Dan Rather Arsenio Hall interview last week. Although the embarrassingly shameless self-promotion tour for his Little House on the Prairie memoir has even seen him stoop to appearing on a certain imbecilic radio program helmed by a certain perpetual sophomore, the brass at CBS found the choice of Arsenio unfortunate, to say the least. And it's not the fact that Hare Hall's late-night chat fest appeals to a lowest common denominator of illiterate, simple social lepers that has tongues a-wagging, but rather that Rather saw fit to shave his head in an Arsenio-like fade and end his newscast last Monday with that hideous arm-pumping woo-woo thing. In retrospect, courage don't seem all that bad. Well, c'est la guerre.
Imus in the morning.
Hollywood, my man Spank, making them more better movies.
Around down there than they got in Cairo and San Juan put together. And that parking lot, Jesus, one giant 50-acre knot of jumper cables. If the Arabs are so obsessed about overrunning something, let them overrun Epcot. Poor old Mike Eisner is down there with people screaming at him to goose the bottom line. And how the hell many times do you think he can re-release 101 Dalmatians, huh? So fax Jim Baker, tell him to come to hell home. Deed over the Magic Kingdom to those dopes, and yo, Abdul Ali Salman bitcher just might shut the hell up for 5 minutes. Hey, it's worth a shot. Yeah. And that's opinion, Imo. Worldview from your main mama in Madrid, Jean Kirkpatrick. Muchas gracias.
Imus in the morning.
Well, I know that.
Wow, Kiki Friedman, he's happening.
Well,
Wow. He hasn't had a record since when, 1950? Why don't you call more people on the air, Imus? Why don't you talk to more listeners?
well,
That's happening. You're so unhappening. It's actually happening. Hey, guess who I'm going this Halloween?
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to tape a piece of baloney to my neck and be you. Bing bong, trick or treat. Ooh, baby. How's your Donkey Kong, baby? Let me see your fuzzy pizza, baby.
Howard Stern here.
What?
Thank you on the Imus in the Morning program.
Ooh, what's your favorite radio station?
It's 7:45, 15 till 8 o'clock. Imus in the Morning. FAN weather. Some coastal flood warning for this afternoon and tonight.
Ooh, got to pee down phone booth.
Today, sunny skies and then some increasing clouds during this afternoon. It'll be windy and cool up around 55. It's 43 now in New York.
Trick or treat, I want some vodka, baby.
It's time for sports and sports is...
Imus in the morning.
Hold this down, will you, boy?
John Cardinal O'Connor with the New York Lotto numbers. Good morning, Cardinal O'Connor.
Good morning and God bless. The winning numbers in the New York State Lottery is as follows.
All right.
Oh, the flattering picture of you on the cover of Connecticut magazine, Imus in the morning. You have that look, boy.
What look?
The look of a man suffering from constipation, be Jesus. Sickening bastard. Let's face it, Elephant Man, there's a reason why you've been on radio and not television for the last 40 years. You French fried freak, you. Let me tell you this, Imus in the morning.
What?
The unlikely event that you die of natural causes, you'd do well to have a closed casket at the wake, boy. Besides sparing people from having to look at your filthy carcass, the undertakers wouldn't have to wipe off the saliva every 20 minutes. I tell you that, boy. A daily number.
That's really what you're here for.
655.
All right.
All right, girls and boys, gather around the radio. This Thursday night, when the moon is half full, the wee child will dress up as a goblin or a ghoul, hoping for treats, apples, taffy, and horses. Stay away from Imus's house, or you'll end up with herpes, be Jesus. Now turn off that MTV and get to school, you little bastards. What ahead, move it.
A mace?
You got it, boy. And the handcuffs when he's led away by the police, huh? Jesus. The big jackpot this Saturday. The facelift.
B, a facelift.
See? Euthanasia. Which is the longer way?
C, euthanasia.
Which is the longer way?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, A. A.
Wrong again, porcelanopuss. While recent media exposés of Imus the Morn have alerted the public to his dire need for all three of the aforementioned, the answer clearly is B. The facelift doesn't belong because unlike the other two, the eye maggot can spell facelift. All right, then, moving along.
Oh, boy, really.
Imus in the morning.
And Lois Lane here refutes on redirect by reading a 600-page deposition from some mental defective who stares at sex juice for a living. Great! Everybody, and I do mean everybody, the jury, the judge, were praying that the next expert witness she'd call would be Dr. Kevorkian, because everybody wanted to kill themselves. Charlie Jaco's out in front there for CNN, vainly searching the skies for maybe just one leftover scud to somehow come in and take the place out. And you got law schools all over the country going, she didn't go here. Nope, not here either. Hey, we never saw her. More of who? Not, by the way, that those two Tweedledum, Tweedledee dorks with black exactly rewrote legal precedent. Where did he find them? Law school or mortician school? He let them stand up once in a while on some totally meaningless issue, but you could tell that their principal duty was to get him coffee and keep pencil sharpened. Would you let Lash or those two handle a barking dog complaint for you? No. I don't think so. No. Maura Lash would be the first person to have a case thrown out of people's court. I can just see Officer Rusty now pointing her to the door saying, please, just get out. Of course Willie walks on this one, because the only way Lash was going to get a conviction was if she went over to him and shot the lying little bastard between the eyes. Which, now that I think about it, is not all that unattractive an idea. Yeah. And that's opinion, Imo, from a woman who says, case closed.
Imus in the morning.
The microphone.
Well, Your Honor, I don't understand why everybody still is being mad at me. I am but the simple writer of words, and yet they even are raising the price for my death. Millions of dollars they say they will give to whomever kills me. Oh, my golly gosh, I've been shot.
Now we switch live to West Palm Beach, Florida, where Diane Sawyer is standing by with one of the principals in the unsuccessful attempt to prosecute William Kennedy Smith. Diane?
Thank you, David. I'm here on the beach near the Kennedy estate itself, gazing out to sea, wind tossing my blonde hair, lips pouted, trying to pick up medical students. And with me, David, the very unsuccessful prosecutor in the Smith case, the very dowdy Maura Lash. Miss Lash, if I may, why did you appear to be so banal, slow-witted, so tedious, inane, inept, so unprepared, clumsy, cold, frigid, so listless, ineffectual, and, well, just stupid, particularly during your cross-examination of Mr. Smith?
I just didn't feel well all day. I tried to overcome it by my mind, but I couldn't.
I really think you've got to suck it up, Miss Lash. Say, here comes another principal in the case, Senator Edward Kennedy. Hello, Senator.
Diane, how are you?
Do you know Miss Lash?
We've met, yes.
Well, Senator, as you look back on the way your nephew's case proceeded, what are your thoughts?
Just this, Diane. If Miss Lash had been prosecutor on Martha's Vineyard in 1969, I'd be the president of the United States today. Say, can I give anybody a lift here? Miss Lash, Diane, unnamed victim. What the hell? I've got a condom. Hey, look, no pants.
I'm fine.
Boy, that chicken story just gets funnier and funnier. Bet your Fred learned a lot from that one. Hey, why don't you teach him how to do those impressions of yours? That'll be fun at parties, huh?
Yeah?
So George Harrison's got a $200 million lawsuit out. Did you see this? Have you heard about this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Apparently he's suing one of the tabloid newspapers for printing a story that said he was a Nazi.
Right.
Boy, in all those years, I thought Ringo was the Hitler Youth. Kind of changes the way you look at his music, huh? While my Führer gently weeps. Here comes Mein Kampf.
It's 22 after 8, Imus in the morning.
By the way, I'll be at Kaiser's Comedy Bunker on the 21st. Laughenstein's Comedy and Beer Garden on the 22nd.
Here's Mike Breen with sports. Good morning.
Imus in the morning.
This is Mick Jagger, Jerry Hall.
Ouch! Oh, you're sitting on my hair, honey. You never do that. And I never say that, what?
I hope you never get your hair cut. I'd be sitting on your face.
Thank you for sharing, you piggy poo. Gosh, I'm so depressed.
Oh, what's wrong?
Well, there's nothing to watch on TV anymore.
What?
Well, the William Kennedy Smith trial was my favorite soap since Days of Anita Hill.
Well?
They're making a movie out of this one, you know.
Oh, they are.
Willie Wompter and the Pantyhose Factory. I think the alleged victim should get her own show, like Wonder Woman, Jupiter Woman. Lots of aliens had their own shows. Look at Maury Povich and Geraldo Rivera. Of course, my favorite spaceman is Dan Rather.
Oh, wait a minute.
You know the bottom line in this Willie thing?
No.
There came a point, flaccid as it may have been, when Jupiter Woman realized she did not like his style.
All right.
Speaking of style, her makeup did not help. Did you see her in the close-up? She had blue eyeshadow all over her face. I mean, I don't know about rape, but she was definitely a victim of Maybelline. And her mother must have taught her, because she had the same problem. I mean, did you see her? She took the stand to say she bought her daughter dresses at Ann Taylor and bras at Saks. Well, where did they buy their makeup? Janovic Plaza? I mean, blue latex belongs on a wall. A pale shade of rose would have been complimentary to her cheekbones.
Yeah.
Speaking of bones, Willie doesn't seem to have one in his chin.
He doesn't, does he?
Do you know that sick Mona Lisa smile he has on his face?
Yes.
And no chin at all. Maybe he could borrow one from Willard Scott. Maybe Willie should forget medical school and be a weatherman. Stop playing Casanova with brunettes and start playing bingo with gray-haired ladies on their 100th birthdays. Speaking of which, are you seeing anybody, honey?
No.
Well,
Yes.
someone in your age category?
Who would that be?
Grandma Moses?
I don't think that's funny.
Can we have a drink here, honey?
Grandma Moses is dead.
Well, what a good couple you'd be.
This president, Jesus, JD, you gotta cut me some slack here. Lighten up, it's slide time. Do you know how little we're gonna be doing for the rest of this week?
Well,
We're gonna make Terry Anderson look like he was a workaholic for the past 7 years. We're gonna do less than Nick and Nora did. You understand what I'm saying? We're doing nothing. And so, that said, let's begin. Issue 1.
yes.
And now, issues 2 through 6.
Yes.
So have a happy, sappy holiday and leave me the hell alone. I mean, come on, run some old bits. And wouldn't that set a precedent on this show?
Yeah.
Segue some Iron Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, Stairway to Heaven or something. You still owe some plays on Leonard Skinner's live version of Firebird, don't you?
Well,
that shoots a quarter hour right there. How about, Hey Jude, don't make it bad. You were made to go out and get her. Whoa, sounds like an ode to Willie Smith, doesn't it? Say, there's an unresolved issue, it strikes me. When did she take off those pantyhose, eh?
Well,
You've had a number of forays into that arena, hi, man?
Yeah.
What's been your experience?
Well,
I know. You refuse to answer on grounds that bobby socks cannot be construed as pantyhose. Besides, pantyhose on one of your dates would look like a pair of Dr. Denton's, for Christ's sake. Just kidding.
Good.
Well, I don't know where all this hostility is coming from. It's what should be this joyous point in time here. I guess it's from my inability to locate my long-lost brother, Otis.
Otis.
Mhm.
Otis who?
Otis Nixon. Of course.
Otis Nixon of the Atlanta Braves is a relative of yours?
He's a brother, yes.
Well, but Otis Nixon is black.
That's what I said. He's a brother. And if you don't think he's my relative, JD, consider just a moment.
All right.
He gets nailed for cocaine,
Right.
and then not only comes back, but is going to do $5.6 million for the next 2 years? That's a blood relation, pal. I want a piece of this guy. I can see it now. Nixon and Nixon. They screw up. We fix them. Say, I know what. Really drive them nuts the next few days, man. Play that hideous checker-playing duck story again, or whatever the hell that was. That's only been on, 10,000 times? I love it. And that's opinion, JD. Here's hoping your Hanukkah candles set your Christmas tree on fire, okay? I'm out of here.
Imus in the morning on Sports Radio 66. The Fan.